Hey everyone, it's your girl TeraMichelle. Welcome to or welcome back to my channel, Opinionated Scents, our safe space to discuss all things fragrance, whether we like them or not. Today's video is the Me Now Frag Tag, which was started by Josh Jane over at Joss's Fragrance Mixology. I'll leave her information in the description box. I've been really eager to do this tag because it just seemed like so much fun. I remember the fragrances I used to love in my teens and 20s and even 30s. And now all of a sudden at 41, really when I turned 40, it was like overnight. I went from 39 to 40 and all of a sudden I was intrigued by a little bit of spice in my fragrances, which was something I thought was abhorrent in my teens and 20s. So this was super easy. I could have actually picked quite a few more, but I stopped at 10. I'm eager to jump into this video with you guys. I do want to go ahead and make mention, because I know a lot of you are going to. One, the darker lip color is from Juvia's Place. I'll put the shade in the description box, or I'll try to remember to. And also the hair. Listen, once every year or two, it's been since 2020 actually, I will blow my hair out to let someone trim my ends. And sometimes they end up flat ironing it to make sure they can get, the best trim possible. I'm a curly girl. It won't be like this often, but you will see it every now and then. It is what it is. To start this video off, I want to tell you a little bit about what I used to wear in my early teens and early 20s so that you can see the comparison from then to now, what we're going to talk about today. So I was a Clinique happy girl, Jessica Simpson fancy, Paris Hilton heiress, the Ed Hardys, the Love Kills Slowly, the Hearts and Daggers, maybe Love and Luck. I'm not sure. Did I have that one? Who knows? But Ed Hardy was definitely in full effect. Lots of celebrity fragrances. Guest by Marciano. Just so many pretty and light and, girly feminine fragrances. Exclamation, which probably was, now in hindsight, I feel like I'm too young to be wearing exclamation. And I'm 41, but I loved it back then. I even loved White Diamonds and Chanel No. 5 back then, but I never wore them. I just loved them on my mother-in-law and my grandmother and things like that. But I was more of a celebrity fragrance girl, Bath and Body Works girl, Victoria's Secret girl, things like that. So I think we can all relate, because I've seen a bunch of these videos done and a lot of people mention the same thing. Now, my love of perfume started with Sweet Honesty from Avon and Far Away from Avon. And I even think in hindsight that Far Away was probably a little bit too old for me at that time. That was a little bit too sexy for me to be wearing at 16, but it is what it is. I wore it. I loved it. Now let's talk about the fragrances that I love now that I would have hated back then. Most of the fragrances on this list, I'm actually still on the fence about. There are days when I absolutely find them to be amazing. And then there are days when I'm like, I'm not wearing that. Why is that in my collection? This is one of those fragrances. This is called Flora Botanica, and this is from the House of Balenciaga. I love the mint and the carnation in this. The rose can sometimes be a bit much. This is a really clean, really floral green type of rose. And that's not my favorite kind of rose at all. So it has to be really hot outside, like hot to where I'm craving clean, crisp greenery, Any other time, I don't really care for this. It's so, it's not the worst thing ever, but it almost smells like a really strong, pungent tea, and I don't want to smell like that. So Flora Botanica definitely would have been one I would have thrown away if someone gifted it to me when I was in my late teens, early 20s. I'm trying to find my voice box this morning. It's 5 o'clock, so I'm assuming my vocal cords are still sleeping. Next up, we have Kenzo World Power, which, okay, guys, I promise you, I actually do like this fragrance. I just never wear it. So this is cypress, this is sea salt, this is tonka bean. Listen, what can I say about this fragrance? Have you guys ever smelled this fragrance? This fragrance is very much unisex to me. There's a part of this that I smell, more than likely the cypress, and I think to myself, this smells like a man. Like, this smells like a man who's about to go outside and chop the wood and bring it back in and put it in the wood burning stove so we can keep heat in our cabin, type of thing. I There is something about this I really like. It could be the sea salt, it could be the tonka bean that's calling to me, but at the same time, that cypress that has me standing there like, this is like just borderline too freaking unisex for me. But I love it. Guys, if you own this and you have any semblance of thinking the same way that I do, like, where am I going to go with this? Where am I going to? That's what I'm trying to figure out. If you figured it out, if you thought at first it was maybe just right on the cusp of being too masculine, um, where did you wear it to? Like, what finally made it work? Did you wear it to work? Like, I don't know. Because I just think about this and go, I don't want to wear it to where, any place where somebody's going to go, oh, she's like a dude today. Like, I don't know. I'm too in my head about this fragrance. I really am now. So I know I never in life would have worn it back then if I can't even come to some type of resolution within myself regarding this fragrance now at 41. It's really, I'm sitting up talking about it's really pretty. It is pretty, but with a masculine touch. So I don't know. I really, really like it in high heat. I really, really like it in the cold. Like, just to smell it to my nose but nothing ever makes me reach for it. I've had it on the chopping block to declutter it 3,000 times and always put it back because I don't want to be the person who, whatever. Next. Next up is a musky rose that comes across so tart, and it supposedly has a watermelon note that at first to me smelled so rotten. It took me a couple of years to even want to try this again, and now I love it. But just again, 2-3 years ago, I hated this fragrance. So I know, again, that I would have hated it back then. I was too much of a sweet girl for this to ever speak to me. Now there's just this clean freshness, but also this beautiful, heavy, like musky, rosiness to it that just works so well together. This is Dolce & Gabbana's 3 L'Imperatrice. Guys, I don't know what to say. This is very clean, almost watery, but also very musky. It's a lot of times you can't really put a heavy musky fragrance. This isn't heavy dirty musky, but it is definitely heavily muscated. That's not a word. Oh my gosh, bro. This is heavy on the musk, but in a more watery, rosy way. Like, this isn't the type of musk that you're gonna find in that who was that? Karl Lagerfeld, something about pay share day something from my It's Another Haul Y'all video. That musk with that animosity, that musk that wanted to throw down. Like, no, that's not that. It's also not the musk from I'm looking at it. What is the name of this? Born in Roma Yellow Dream. That is also an extremely pungent, like tart, musk. So this is along those lines, but more watered down, and with the rose. So if you don't like tart, if you don't like, not sweet, then that may not work for you. That is the hugest complaint about D&G 3. It is the complaint that I had. Also, to their watermelon note can come across like it's straight up, like just rotten, like it's been sitting in the sun, just decaying, and I don't know why that went away from me. And this wasn't the thing about when I lost my sense of smell. No, I started loving this before November. So I don't know. This is a unique one, but I wouldn't have liked it back then. Not a chance. Next, we're going to talk about Chloe Nomad Eau de Parfum. So this is the one that I struggle with now. Like, that's going to be the running theme that you're going to notice when I'm talking about these perfumes. A lot of them, again, I'm on the fence about already, and I struggle with finding a love for them now because of things that I've spent so many years of my life not liking. Patchouli being one of them. So the patchouli in the Eau de Parfum formulation throws me off quite a bit. I'm trying to find my place with that one because I absolutely loved it when I had a decant of it, purchased a full bottle, or, if some people don't, think a 1 ounce or 1.7 ounces is considered a full bottle, but it is. Whatever. Um, and sometimes the patchouli is just overwhelming. So I'm trying to figure out if it's more of a fall scent for me. Can I pull it off in the summer? Like, what are we doing with Chloe Nomad or the Parfum? I prefer the Eau de Toilette formulation. It is absolutely stunning. The patchouli is missing that heavy, harsh patchouli that pops up every now and then. Then there are days when I barely pick up the patchouli in this. It is blended to perfection and it hides in the background. Like, it did more of that in the decant that I had than it does in this bottle. This bottle is full patchouli mode. I struggle with it now. So again, I would not have liked it back then. Okay, so next up, we are going to talk about two that I would not have liked for the same reason. And again, I know this because I just recently started liking them. First, we're going to talk about Coco Mad. This is Coco Mademoiselle from the House of Chanel, a very spicy citrus fragrance. And this is Eau de Merveille from the House of Hermes. Again, a slightly spicy citrus. So when I was younger, I didn't like citrus at all at first. And then I got to my mid-20s and I was like, okay, I can do this. I like citrus. And it just grew from there. However, never did I have citruses from Bath and Body Works that came across like this. There was no black pepper and patchouli or vetiver and things like that mixing with the citrus. The citruses were zesty. They were juicy. They were bright. They were fun. These are darker and sexier and way more complex and not zesty at all, not fruity. These are a twist, a different take on a citrus. And I always call them the citrus for the grown and sexy, where you want to dial back the zestiness that some people consider to be a little juvenile, a little too youthful. And you want to bring out some intenseness. You want to bring out some qualities that you would never have normally thought of when thinking about citruses. So while I love these so much now for how intricate they are and how much they changed my palette, I am fully aware that there's not a chance. There's not a chance that I would have worn these back then. In my late teens and early 20s and even into my mid 30s, rose is still, rose and jasmine and tuberose, but there are just some florals that I struggle with. They have to be done correctly for my palette in order for me to be able to deal with them. This fragrance right here shocked me because it's strong and as potent as the rose is in this. There's no way I would have worn it back then. But this baby here is Roses Berberanza, and it took me forever to find this and to finally get it. And now that I have it, I'm just upset. This bottle is just so freaking stunning all the way around. From the House of Maison Lancôme, I'm sorry, this is Roses Berberanza. This is very hard to find because I think it's discontinued. Let me just give you a chance to look at this bottle again as I'm sitting up here getting mesmerized by the design and things like that. Yes, but what does that say down there? Maison Lancôme Haute Parfumerie Paris. Okay. So Roses Berberanza, not a chance. There's so many notes in this fragrance. I've talked about it before when I hauled it. But the rose is one of those very potent, pungent roses that almost reminds me of that 1980s rose that everybody's 80, 90, 100-year-old grandmother, great grandmother, big mama, was wearing. And you just, when you were a kid, all you thought was, never in life will you catch me smelling like that. Like, it's reminiscent of that, but definitely changed up and made more modern and chic and something that I can actually tolerate. And I'm obsessed with it on a different level. So yeah, but rose and me didn't work. And that's also something that's in a lot of these fragrances too, is rose. So there's a theme here: spiciness, rose. Yeah, your girl wasn't feeling it back then. These next two also suffer from spicy disease. This is Kayali's Invite only Amber 23. Is that what this is? No. Yes, that is exactly what it is. Okay. And L'Entre de Rouge. So I got both of these. I was really excited because I mean, look, I've actually put a little bit of a little bit of a dent in the KLE one. I got these and I was really excited that I wasn't immediately turned off, because usually when it comes to spices, I'm just like, no, nope, 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 nope. You can take that and move on. This one here, it doesn't remain too spicy for me for too long. There's a lot of other notes going on in here that allowed me to be able to process this one a little better. And that works for me. You know what I'm saying? I don't need a bigger bottle, I don't think, because after my first appreciation and excitement over the fact that I didn't immediately hate it, I haven't reached for it since. I'm still not a spicy girl at heart, and I don't think I ever will be. L'Entre de Rouge, however, though, I have been on the fence about this since I got it. Like, I loved it at first. Again, initial excitement, because I I didn't immediately hate it. And I still really like it. It's just, you know what? I like it even more right now. What are we doing? This is why you got to open perfumes and play with them. Because this smell, this is going to be my scent of the day today. I'm filming this before work, so I'm going to go ahead and wear this today to give it a shot. It's nice and cold. And this smells so good right now. But again, that pimento leaf and everything else going on in there sometimes just throws me for a loop. I think it's a fragrance I'm really going to enjoy much more because it's so friggin' cold. We got 5 degrees. Anything with some spice in it is probably going to appeal to you more because you're thinking, ooh, spicy, it can heat me up. You know, I'm so cold. So you just, draw in for, and fall in love. But L'Entre de Rouge is definitely my least favorite of all of the flankers that I have. I think Intense is my favorite, followed by Melissimi, followed by the other Parfum, and then this one. There's a new Jasmine something coming out, and I don't think I'm going to get that one because, anything that's telling me off the bat is focusing on Jasmine, it's pretty much letting me know they didn't make that perfume for me. Would I love a sample? If I can get my hands on it to test it for you guys to come and talk about it, I will. But do not look for this channel to have that bottle. Also, too, while we're talking about it, I'm also not going to be getting a new Dolce Lily either. Look, last but not least on this list, we're going to talk about Shagaf Oud. There is not a chance on anybody's earth, planet, in any universe. There's not a chance. Okay, first of all, this is my only oud fragrance. I think it's definitely my strongest, most potent oud fragrance. I don't like oud. I'm not an oud girl. I don't find it to be sexy. I find it to be weird and off-putting and embarrassing. So even though I really do like this fragrance, and I spray it maybe once or twice in an entire year, and I spray it in my bedroom because I like the way it smells in here, I don't wear this around people. I have worn this maybe 3 or 4 times in my life since having it in my life. I think I've had it for like 3 years, 2-3 years. And I'm scared. No, because COVID was a thing. So probably 3, maybe going on 4 years, maybe at least 3. I'm scared to wear it around people. Like, I really don't ever want to be the girl that somebody was like, oh, did you smell her today? She smelled terrible. Like, and I'm just so scared that there are too many opportunities and chances for people to dislike oud, because so many people do. It's like I said, it's like some type of, what is it? Like some type of fungus growing on a tree or in some sap or something. Like, even what oud is, where they get the smell from, even if they synthesize it or if they, make it synthetically. Okay, synthesizing something can be musically. So is that the right, did I just use that correctly? I don't know. If they make a synthetic form of it, we're going to say that. No matter what it came from, I think is like a moldy or, bacterial infected sap or something, or mold on a tree. It's gross. I just remember reading what it was and going, ew. Like, why? Like, why? So I don't know what I'm going to do with this. Sometimes I feel like, you know what, we need to just go ahead and get rid of this. But other parts of me are like, no, I want this in my collection. I love the bottle. I really do love the smell. I'm just in I'm just too scared to wear it around other people. Well, I just, you know what? Y'all about to, okay. Say what you will in the comments. I know you're not supposed to, people say you shouldn't care what other people think. I do what I want to do for me. Yeah, okay. But it's a self-conscious thing. I don't actually care. You know, when I get up in the morning, I don't go, oh, will someone like this? No, that's not it. This is the only fragrance that does that to me. And I think I'm projecting it on other people. I think I say I won't wear it because I'm afraid of what other people would think. But I think it's also because of what I think. Like, I love it in the air. Don't know if I would so much love it on me. And I also love to smell it, but then gone about my business. I don't think I want to smell it all day. Like, I think the things that I am thinking are also, I'm projecting onto what somebody else might think. Because look, there are a lot of people who hate oud. I used to be one of them. I think I still am one who strongly dislikes it. If it's not, you know, with a lot of tonka bean or a lot of vanilla or something to just squash it down to almost nothingness, I'm not a fan. So something like that will make me self-conscious. So if you understand what I'm saying, you know, come at me in the comments. Let me know what you feel, how you feel. If there's a fragrance out there that you feel like you like in the privacy of your own home, like Alien. Alien is one I love to smell from my decant. You wouldn't catch me putting that mess on though. The jasmine is just putrid. I can't. But I can't say that just to spray it in the air once and, you know, around the holidays doesn't smell good to me, because it does. I just don't want it on me. And yeah, anyway, I think I've talked about that for long enough. I can't wait to see the conversation that this sparks. If people are going to understand where I'm coming from or be totally upset that I said it. But it is what it is. It's how I feel. So there you have it. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Josh, thank you for this tag. It was so much fun. I knew immediately that it was going to be super duper easy to make these choices, because pretty much everything I purchased at the end of 2020 and throughout 2021 is something I could say, hey, this probably wouldn't have floated back then, because my palette changed so much when I turned 40 back in December of 2020. Anyway, if you're still here, please do click the like button and subscribe to my channel, as well as select that notification bell so that you never miss any of my future uploads. I want to talk to you guys in the comments, and we have a lot to talk about today. We can talk about this tag. If you haven't already done it and you have a YouTube channel, please consider yourself tagged. Pink Von Love, I hope I said that right. I want you to do this if you haven't done it already. Who else? I can't even think. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. I can't even do it. So, Vonnie, I would love to see you do this if you haven't done it already. Did I just give you a nickname? Like, I just straight up, I have never, you look. Also, we could talk about the comments I made regarding Shagaf Oud, because I know it's probably, you know, triggering somebody either way. That's fine. And if you don't have a YouTube channel and you want to discuss this, go ahead and tell me that, like, give me a couple of fragrances you used to wear maybe 15, 20 years ago, or if maybe 5 years ago, depending on how young you are, and what you have now that you know your younger self would not have liked. So I'm intrigued by this. I think this is a really cool tag. You know I love talking to you guys. I'll see you in the comments. And until then, bye.